Céad Míle Fáilte. Welcome to the Treasured Tales of Ireland, a place where you can come and listen to the many myths, legends, folktales, and fairy tales of the Emerald Isle, helping to keep the stories of the past alive. My name is MyLinda Butterworth, and I will be your teller of tales. I hope you will join me each week for new stories, and if you enjoy my work, please like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Additionally, be sure to explore my other story collections for more tales. Before we begin, please note that if you are using the closed caption feature of this video, that many Irish names may not sound the way they appear, and we've made every effort to pronounce them correctly. Now, let's get started. Today, we continue with the Book of the Fianna-Finn's Helpers, with the story of The Hound, Part 3 of 4, Episode 32. One day, the 3 battalions of the Fianna came to the Magh Femen, and there they saw 3 young men waiting for them, having a hound with them. And there was not a colour in the world but was on that hound, and it was bigger than any of the other hounds. "Where do you come from, young men?" said Finn. "Out of the greater Iruath in the east," said they, "and our names are Dova, the dark, and Of, the battle, and Ilar, the eagle. What is it you came for?" "To enter into service and your friendship," said they. "What good will you do us, you to be with us?" said Finn. "We are 3, said they, "and you can make a different use of each one of us." "What uses are those?" said Finn. "I will do the watching for all the Fianna of Ireland and of Alban," said one of them. "I will make the weight of every fight and every battle that will come to them, the way they keep themselves in quiet," said the second. "I will meet every troublesome thing that might come to my master," said the third. "And let all the wants of the world be told to me, and I will satisfy them. And I have a pipe with me," he said, "and all the men of the world would sleep at the sound of it, and they in their sicknesses. And as to the hound," he said, "as long as there are deer in Ireland, he will get provision for the Fianna every second night. And I myself," he said, "will get it on the other nights." "What will you ask of us to be with us like that?" said Finn. "We will ask 3 things," they said. "No one to come near to the place where we have our lodgings after the fall of night. Nothing to be given out to us, but we to provide for ourselves. And the worst places to be given to us in the hunting." "Tell me by your oath now," said Finn, "why is it you will let no one see you after nightfall?" "We have our reasons," said they, "but do not ask it of us whether we are short or long on the one path with you. But we will tell you this much," they said. "Every 3rd night, one of us 3 is dead, and the other 2 are watching him, and we have no mind for anyone to be looking at us." So Finn promised that, but he did there where some of the Fianna were not well pleased because of the ways of those 3 men, living as they did by themselves, and having a wall of fire about them, and they would make an end of them, but Finn protecting them. And that time there came 7 men of poetry belonging to the people of Iruath, asking the fee for a poem, 3 times 50 ounces of gold, and the same of silver, to bring back to Iruath, to Tiawer. "Whatever we get it, we must find some way to get that," said a man of the Fianna. Then the 3 young men of Iruath said, "Well, men of learning," they said, "would you sooner get the fee for your poem tonight or tomorrow?" "Tomorrow will be time enough," said they. And the 3 young men went to the place where the hound had his little bed, a little way off from the Raw, And the hound threw out of his mouth before them the 3 times 50 ounces of gold, and 3 times 50 of silver, and they gave them to the men of poetry, and they went their way. Another time Finn said, "What can the 3 battalions of the Fianna do tonight, having no water?" And one of the men of Iruath said, "How many drinking horns are with you?" 312, said Fáilte. "Give me the horns into my hand," said the young man, "and whatever you will find in them after that, you may drink it." He filled the horns then with the beer, and they drank it. And he did that a second and a third time, and the third time of filling, they were talkative and their wits confused. "This is a wonderful mending of the feast," said Finn. And one time, after that again, there came to Finn 3 bald red clowns, holding 3 red hounds in their hands, and 3 deadly spears. And there was poison on their clothes, and on their hands, and their feet, and on everything they touched. And Finn asked them, who were they? And they said that they were the 3 sons of Uar, son of Indast, of the Tuatha De Danann. And it was by a man of the Fianna, Fáilte, son of Ronan. Their father was killed in the battle of Tuatha De Danann on Slieve na Anna, the mountain of birds in the east. And let Fáilte, son of Ronan, give us the blood fine for him now, they said. What are your names? Said Finn. Ankel, and Digbal, and Aspad. Ill-wishing and harm and want are our names. And what answer do you give us now, Finn? They said. No one before me ever gave a blood fine for a man killed in battle, and I will not give it, said Finn. We will do revenge and robbery on you so, said they. What revenge is that? Said Finn. It is what I will do, said Ansel. If I meet with 2 or 3 or 4 of the Fianna, I will take their feet and their hands from them. It is what I will do, said Digbal. I will not leave a day without loss of a hound, or a serving boy, or a fighting man to the Fianna of Ireland. And I myself, I will always be leaving them in want of people, or of a hand, or of an eye, said Espade. Without we can get some help against them, said Fáilte, there will be none of us living at the end of the year. Well, said Finn, we will make a dune and stop here for a while, for I will not be going through Ireland, and these men following after me, till I find who are the strongest of them or ourselves. So the Fianna made little raws for themselves all around Slieve Miss, and they stopped there through a month and a quarter and a year. And through all that time, the 3 red-balded men were doing every sort of hurt and harm upon them. But the 3 sons of the king of Iruath came to speak with Finn, and it is what they said. It is our wish, Finn, to send the hound that is with us to go around you 3 times in every day, and however many may be trying to hurt or to rob you, they will have no power to do it after that. But let there be neither fire, nor arms, nor any other dog in the house he goes into, they said. I will let none of these things go into the one house with him, said Finn, and he will go safe back to you. So every day the hound would be sent to Finn, having his chain of ridges of red gold around his neck, and would go 3 times around Finn, and 3 times he would put his tongue upon him. And to the people that were nearest to him, the hound, when he came into the house, it would seem like as if a vat of mead was being strained, and to others there would be some sweet smell of an apple garden. And every harm and sickness the 3 sons of Uar would bring on the Fianna, the 3 sons of the king of Iruath would take it off of them with their herbs and their help and their healing. And after a while the High King of Ireland came to Sleafmas with a great troop of his men to join with Finn and the Fianna. And they told the High King the whole story, and how the sons of Uar were destroying them, and that the 3 sons of King Iruath were helping them against them. Why would not the men that can do all that find some good spell that could drive the sons of Uar out of Ireland? Said the High King. With that, Quiltia went looking for the 3 young men from Iruath and brought them to the High King. These are comely men, said the High King, good in their shape and having a good name. And could you find any charm, my sons, he said, that will drive out these 3 enemies that are destroying the Fianna of Ireland? We would do that if we could find those men near us, said they. It is where they are now, said they, at Dare's Carn at the end of the Ross. Where are Garbronan, the rough buzzing one, and Saltran of the long heel, said Finn. Here we are, King of the Fianna, said they. Go out to those men beyond, and tell them I will give according to the judgment of the King of Ireland, in satisfaction for their father. The messengers went out then, and brought them in, and they sat down on the bank of the Raw. Then the High King said, Rise up, Dove, son of the King of Ira, and command these sons of Uar with a spell to quit Ireland. And Dova rose up, and he said, Go out to the strength of this spell and this charm, you 3 enemies of the Fianna, one-eyed, lame-thighed, left-handed of the bad race, and go out on the deep, bitter sea, he said. And let each one of you strike a blow on his sword on the head of his brothers, for it is long enough you are doing harm and destruction on the king of the Fianna, Finn, son of Cool. With that, the Hound sent a blast of wind under them that brought them out into the fierce green sea, and each of them struck a blow on the head of the other. And that was the last that was seen of the 3 destroying sons of Uar, Ankal, and Digbal, and Espade. But after the time of the Fianna there came 3 times in the 1 year into Westminster 3 flocks of birds from the western sea, having beaks of bone and fiery breath, and the wind from their wings was as cold as a wind of spring. And the first time they came with a reaping time, and every one of them brought away an ear of corn from the field. And the next time they came, they did not leave apple on tree, or nut on bush, or berry on the rowan. And the third time they spared no living thing they could lift from the ground, young bird, or fawn, or silly little child. And the first day they came was the same day of the year the 3 sons of Uar were put out to the sea. And when Quiltia, that was one of the last of the Fianna, and that was living yet, heard of them, he remembered the sons of Uar, and he made a spell that drove them out into the sea again, and they perished there, one another. It was about the length of a year the 3 sons of the king of Iruath stopped with Finn, and at the end of that time Don and Dova and 2 sons of the king of Ulster came out of the north up to Munster, and one night they kept watch for the Fianna, and 3 times they made a round of the camp. And it is the way the young men from Iruath used to be in a place by themselves, apart from the Fianna, and their hound in the middle between them. And at the fall of night there used to be a wall of fire to be around them, that no one could look at them. And the third time the sons of the king of Ulster made the round of the camp, they saw the fiery wall, and Don said, It is a wonder the way those 3 young men are through the length of a year now, and their hound along with them, and no one getting leave to look at them. With that, he himself and his brother took their arms in their hands, and went inside the wall of fire, And they began looking at the three men and at the hound. And the great hound they used to see every day at the hunting was at this time no bigger than a lapdog that would be with a queen or a high person. And one of the young men was watching over the dog, and a sword in his hand. And another of them was holding a vessel of white silver to the mouth of the dog. And any drink any one of the three would ask for the dog would put it out under his mouth into the vessel. Then one of the young men said to the hound, "Well, noble one and brave one and just one, take notice of the treachery that is done to you by Finn." When the dog heard that, he turned to the king of Ulster's sons, and there rose a dark druid wind that blew away the shields from their shoulders and swords from their sides into the wall of fire. And then the three men came out and made an end of them. And when that was done, the dog came and breathed on them, and they turned to ashes on the moment. And there was never blood or flesh or bone of them found after. And the 3 battalions of the Fianna divided themselves into companies of 9, and went searching through every part of Ireland for the King of Ulster's 2 sons. And as to Finn, he went to Lucra, and no one with him but the serving lads and the followers of the army. And the companies of 9 that were looking for the King of Ulster's sons came back to him there the one night, but they brought no word of them if they were dead or living. But as to the 3 sons of the king of Iruath and the hound that was with them, they were seen no more by Finn and the Fianna. And here is where I end my tale for today. But I'll be back with more tales, many more tales. Until then, my friends, enjoy the journey. Slán go fóill. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this story, please give us a thumbs up and comment. It truly helps us.